Meeting is called to order. Please stand up for a silent prayer. Please be seated. Good evening to you all. Christmas greeting to all of you. Today, December 23rd, is a special day for physicians. Every year we celebrate this day as Physicians' Day. The vision of a few stalwart physicians of India gave birth to this idea of forming an Association of Physicians of India in 1944. On December 23rd, 1944, during the time of the Second World War, a group of physicians met at Madras and formed an association, and later it came to be known as the Association of Physicians of India, or API. So its aim was to equip the practicing physicians with recent updates, share research findings, have a corroborate discussions. A physician's job needs technical skill, scientific knowledge, and appreciation of human nature. API is the biggest organization. We are extremely academic and we are spread all over India. In this day, as a custom, every year we honor the most outstanding, the senior most physician in our branch. This year we have chosen Dr. Sujit Vasudevan, a doyen in the field of medicine, a stalwart of API KOCHI branch. We welcome Dr. Sujit Vasudevan. A little smile, a word of cheer, a bit of love someone near, a little gift from one held dear. Best wishes for the coming year. These make a Merry Christmas. So let's celebrate every moment of our lives and accept the fact that there is no time like the present to celebrate. As I conclude, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. May the upcoming year bring extreme happiness and prosperity to each one of us. Thank you. Now I hand over the podium to Dr. Prasanna Kumar.
Good evening, friends. Today, Physicians' Day and Christmas celebrations, we are going to the next program, that is honoring Dr. Sujit Vasudevan, who is one of our senior members of our faculty. So I invite Dr. Sujit Vasudevan and his family to the dais. Dr. Sujit, please come. Friends, we know Dr. Sujit Vasudevan very well, and to introduce him in more colorful ways, I invite Dr. Rafiq Mohamed on the dais. Dr. Rafiq Mohamed, please come.
Good evening to all. Chairperson Dr. Abraham, Secretary Sumesh, Treasurer, and the chief guest of the day, and his immediate family. Good evening to you. I thank Abraham for having given me this opportunity, because I think Sujit is a great person who a wonderful physician who has done great things in Cochin, and he's reached a pinnacle of success, and it's a great honor for me to introduce him. So I would say it was in 1952 that a young Bonnie boy was born on TD Road, Ernakulam. And this young, to a leading physician here, Dr N Vasudevan, who was practicing at a clinic called Ojus. This youngster was admitted in the then Central School in Naval Base, which was later renamed Kendriya Vidyalaya. Here he excelled and then he finished his 11th standard and he proceeded to KMC Manipal, where he joined up for pre-professionals. His roll number was number 6. Incidentally, roll number 7 was a fair and petite young lass who hailed from Udupi called Vijaya. He passed out with the first rank in the university and gained admission to Kasturba Medical College, Manipal. This is a clipping from the then local vernacular Udayavani. Anybody who's in around Manipal would be very famous, it's known to them. Udayavani is the first thing they all look at. You can see he was the first and the top on the right. All the ranks went to KMC in the pre-medicals. He never failed to surprise anyone with his achievements, and he was a real blue-eyed boy in KMC. Now, besides his academic achievements, he was there in almost every field. He used to pen skits, which was a must-watch for event in all the cultural activities throughout his days in Manipal. And this included the Malayali Association function, where he used to really excel, and there used to be hordes of people watching that. And these kids were with his close friend Uchil, which many of them were so spontaneous, and they never had a practice section. So we never knew what was happening. Some of them have been recorded and are still being enacted. Of course, he never got a royalty to any of them, which says a lot about his simplicity. He was a master debater and could speak on almost any subject, whether it be a rocket fuel, space shuttles, Grand Prix, or peace treaty between Israel and Palestine, Japanese cooking, or Maori songs of the Aboriginal New Zealanders. Mind you, all this is when he was excelling himself in all the medical subjects, when lesser mortals were burning the midnight oil just to escape through. He went on to get the second prize in the All India Medicals for debating. I don't know whether he tried his arm at weightlifting, but almost every other way he was there. His close friends were Ganesh Pai, Uchil, Harbinder Singh, and Ranjit Shetty. When he passed out, he won the prestigious TMA Pai gold medal for the best outgoing student of that year, and he was the first in Mysore University, which is still displayed in the main foyers of KMC Manipal and KMC Mangalore. Few pictures of us, that is, I think you should see. Can anyone spot him? There is Sujit in an African shirt, orange colored towards the left with a cap on. That was a college trip to Joke Falls. This is a trip they had to somewhere in Cuttack. This was his college pictures with Professor Ganeshan in the center, the postgraduates. After completing his MD in general medicine, he came back to his hometown Ernakulam and started a practice in the year 1979 at the same clinic of which his father had set up, Ojus Clinic. I'd like to comment on his extraordinary memory and his remarkable ability to say the right things at the right time, appropriate jokes at the right time, which all of you would have experienced at some time. Once I remarked, how in the whole tarnation could you have thought of such a joke? And his reply was, my ambition in my younger days was to be a stand-up comedian, which in those days was almost unheard of in India. But to come up with some real data is something amazing. A small example I will narrate, which happened just recently. For our IMA installation, recently when Dr Sujit Kamath was installed as the president of IMA Cochin, the chief guest was Justice Jayashankaran Nambiar, a committed dog lover. He arrived quite early and was seated in the anteroom nearby. There was just Sujit, Vijaya, Shweta, his daughter, and myself. We were just chit-chatting about pet dogs and such when I inquired about his Doberman, and he replied that he died. Then I just mentioned that a friend of mine also lost his dog to an overdose of diclofenac. The dog had a sprain on his foot and taken to a vet where he was given diclofenac, but the pharmacist gave him one which was used for cattle, which is I think more than 300 or 400 milligrams. And this poor dog had a GI bleed and expired. Immediately in a flash, Sujit said that cattle are given diclofenac for, he said that that is the reason for the dwindling vulture population in India. Get it? Dwindling vulture population. We are not talking about vulture, we are talking about diclofenac. Amazing, isn't it? He went on to state that the cattle are given diclofenac for mastitis, and if they die, the carcasses are left behind, in particularly not in Kerala, it is in the north, for the vultures in the rural India, where they are fed, they feed on that, and the diclofenac really kills the vultures. Please understand that to come up with such information at that instant, it's truly amazing. That's how well he's informed. In the course of our conversation, that comment took actually less than 2 seconds, mind you, and 5G has just been started, I think, in Kerala just 3 days back. And this was 2 months ago. So we have among us an inbuilt 5G in our dear Sujit, and this has been working since the last few many decades. He's in fact could get that article for me from the net and showed it to me a few minutes later. But his powers to recall is astounding. Now you can imagine why he excelled in his studies. His hobbies are varied. Birds, ornithology. He will find purple-breasted, orange-beaked robins in a field in Vallarpadam, and he'll give you its migratory path from Siberia along the Mesopotamian plains and over the Madagascar, along with its nesting sites and mating pattern. Many an ornithologist has had interesting conversations with him. Dogs are his other passion. You can see he has always had them at home and they are a part of the family. The present one is a lab called Mia. His Rotary career is glittering. A rotractor during his college days in Manipal, joined the Rotary Club of Cochin in 1980, became his president in 1987, which is a great achievement as this illustrious club permits a presidentship only after going through all the lower ranks systematically. This may take 10 to 12 years. But for him, in 8 years, he became a president, and that too in his golden anniversary of his chapter. He is a major donor, which means he has contributed many thousands of dollars. In October-November 1996, he was the leader of the group exchange team, which visited Rotary Club of Wales in UK. His rotating colleagues here will know that this is not just a honor, but a great responsibility. He has addressed Rotary clubs in UK and USA. Was the Deputy District Governor of Rotary Club of the Rotary District 3200 in 98-99 and held several district posts. He could have easily become the district governor hands down if he wished, but his commitment to his profession held him back, as it's a full 2-year job. God willing, his younger daughter Shweta, who is active in Rotary, will one day adorn that seat. He was installed IMA president in October 1989 with Dr. Pradeep Kumar as a secretary. Has travelled extensively in USA, UK, Europe, Far East and Middle East. And like a old saying, a sailor has a woman in each port, he has a friend in each place he visits. Such is his power of communication and his friendship. His ability to remember, reunite and renew is simply amazing. He will remember family members' names, including their pets. And there's not a year he has missed mine or my wife's or our wedding anniversaries. Many of you here would have experienced the same. Before 8 o'clock, he would have wished you your wedding anniversary or your birthday. This just shows the humane side of his character. When traveling with him abroad, which I had the opportunity to do, he would have already done his homework, already learned the basic language of that country and would have put the local person in good humor with a small quirks in between. Invariably, he hosts many visitors in his house, and when they leave, they are friends for life. Such is his warmth and hospitality. I don't think he has ever made any enemies in his life. Writing humor, listening to music, and I need not say, he remembers the words and lyrics of English, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil and Kannada, and forgive me if I have missed any. I've even heard him voice out some Japanese. Study of military strategies and defense are his favorites. He will enlighten you on how General Patton advanced in the Second World War and what are the strategies enacted on the beaches of Normandy in France. His passion for guns and combat weapons are so intense that you are fairly surprised that how can such a peace-loving person be attracted to these equipments of destruction. But mind you, that violent streak ends there. He is only interested in their mechanics and capabilities. Professionally, he is one of the finest physicians around, and the rapport with his patients is legendary. And that's why we have selected him to be honored today. Having worked in his own clinic with a short stint in PVS Hospital and Krishna, he practiced sensibly and ethically. And hence it's no surprise that all the major hospitals in and around the town has him on their ethics committee. Lakeshore, Astor, Medical Trust, Renai, Lourdes and Apollo at Lux. He's a consultant to several organizations and companies in and around Cochin. Air India, Voltas, Harrison's Malayalam, Godrej, Blue Dart and several banks and insurance companies. He is married to Vijaya, who is a gynecologist, and have 2 children. That's him in his younger days. Both of them at their marriage celebration. This was when he became the IMA president with Pradeep. Yeah, that's his family. His son Sujay is a graduate engineer with a post-graduation in business management, specializing in cyber security with a startup M2P. His daughter Shweta is an HR consultant and trainer. She is an immediate past president of Rotary Club of Cochin and is already a district official who I hope will fulfill Sujit's unannounced desire of a Rotary governorship. He has 2 lovely grandchildren, Dia and Tara. My association dates back to the time I remember. I too, along with dear Dr Srinivas Kamath, was born and brought up on TD Road and went to the same school where he was a senior. And after our schooling, both of us went to the same college, KMC, Manipal, where we did our MBBS and MD, and came back and started our life back again on the same road, TD Road, where Sujit was practicing already. His father, Dr Vasudevan, was a good friend of my grandfather. And when my grandfather fell ill in the early 50s, it was Dr Vasudevan who looked after our hospital, Kunalus, till my father returned from Canada, where he was working. This favor was returned when Sujit was still in Manipal, when Dr Vasudevan had an untimely death, leaving Ojus without a doctor. My father stood in for him till Sujit's return. So hence I repeat, it's a great honor to have been here on this podium to felicitate Dr Sujit, who is not just a friend, but a family and a true brother. Thank you.
Now I invite the President of API Kochi, Dr. Abraham, to for Ponnada and memento to Dr. Sujit Vasudevan. Now I invite Dr. Shyamala for citation.
With the permission of the chair and on behalf of the members of the API Kochi, I take the privilege of reading out this citation which is being awarded to Dr. Sujit Vasudevan today. This citation is presented with affection, respect and regards to Dr. Sujit Vasudevan, Senior Consultant Physician, Ojus Clinic, Ernakulam, by the Chairman and members of the Association of Physicians of India, Kochi. We honor him on the occasion of Physicians' Day 2022. We are pleased to present this citation in recognition of the human services rendered by him to the community of this city for over 4 decades. Dr. Sujit Vasudevan has upheld the highest principles and ethics of medical profession throughout his career. His sincerity to his work, his dedication to the profession, and his regard for his patients have shown him to be an extraordinary and compassionate human being. He has brought honor and credit to our whole profession. In recognizing him today, for all that he has done for the medical profession and for the community at large, we honor not just him but ourselves. We take this opportunity to wish him well for the future. May he continue to serve the community for many more years to come. Signed, Dr. Abraham George, Dr. Sumesh Chako.
Now I invite for felicitation from the audience. Please come forward for felicitate to Dr. Sujit.
Respected Chairman George Abraham, my friend, my guru, my brother, Dr. Sujit, dear friends, as George Abraham has narrated everything regarding the API, why it is Founders Day, 78th year celebration now, and today is a recognition honoring of the senior physicians. All has been covered, and we are honoring Dr. Sujit also today. But after introduction of the Dr. Sujit Vasudevan by Dr. Rafiq, I feel I should add something more, because I have a few which I personally come across. I know Dr. Sujit Vasudevan, my brother, since 1979, the day he landed up and started his practicing in Ernakulam. First met him in his Ojus Clinic when my parents requested me to go and meet him and take advice and blessing before joining my MBBS at Manipal. I don't know whether he remembers that day. Recently, again, I was blessed by Dr. Sujit for his wonderful and unforgettable introductive speech during my installation as IMA President this year. He said, I am following him in all direction. It is true. Birthday, we both are in same month and same, almost in a week time. It's in April. Residence in the same road. School, we studied in the same school. Medical college, MBBS, as well as MD, and even professionally same. And still, I'm following his footsteps and will be continuing to. I have been learning many things from him, not only medicine, but also positive qualities and characteristics, sincerity, punctuality, novelty, friendly, warm, loyalty, trustworthy, what all, everything I have been learning from him. He is a walking encyclopedia as Rafiq has already told. And is also an electronic and digital maniac. Whatever any digital comes, he is the first person to get it. He has helped me in all what I have requested to him. In this gathering, all would agree with me that Dr. Sujit Vasudevan is an ideal person. With this, I finally seek the blessing of his and wish him and his family a great future. Thank you.
Now the podium is open. Anybody can come for felicitation, if any.
പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, കൂടുതലൊന്നും പറയുന്നില്ല. ഡോക്ടർ സുജിത് വാസുദേവനെ ഈ 20 വർഷമായിട്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് പരിചയം വന്നത്. പക്ഷെ അതിന് വളരെ മുമ്പ് ഡോക്ടറെ പറ്റി ഞാൻ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. എൻ്റെ ഫാദറിലോ എറണാകുളത്ത് പഴയ ഒരാളായിരുന്നു. പുള്ളി ഓജസ് വാസുദേവൻ ഡോക്ടറെ കാണാൻ പോന്ന് പറയും. എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല, അന്ന് ഓജസ് ക്ലിനിക്കിലുള്ള വാസുദേവൻ ഡോക്ടറെ കാണാമെന്ന് പറയും. ഒരിക്കൽ എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞു ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്, പുള്ളിയുടെ മകൻ ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കല്ലേ. എൻ്റെ കല്യാണം കഴിഞ്ഞ ആ ഒരു കാലത്താണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോഴാണ് 79 അല്ലേ, അത് കറക്റ്റാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ആ സമയത്താണ്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയുള്ളൊരു പരിചയമാണ് ഉള്ളത്. എനിക്ക് ഒറ്റ വാക്കേ പറയാറ്, ബാക്കിയെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഹീസ് എ പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ജെന്റിൽമാൻസ് ജെന്റിൽമാൻ. അതായത് ജെന്റിൽമാൻസ് ജെന്റിൽമാൻ, അത് മാത്രമേ എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ളൂ. ബാക്കിയെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞു. വിഷ് യു ഓൾ ദ ബെസ്റ്റ് ഇൻ ദ കമ്മിങ് ഇയേഴ്സ് ഡിയർ സുജിത് വാസുദേവൻ സാർ.
Now I invite Dr. Sujit Vasudevan for the speech of acceptance.
Chairman, Dr. Abraham George, Dr. Prasanna Kumar, Dr. Sumesh, Dr. Rafiq, Dr. Shyamala, Dr. Srinivas Kamath, and a plethora of friends sitting in front of me. It's extremely rare that I find myself at a loss of words as what to say. Receiving an honor is always a wonderful thing. It is not that I have not received honors in the past. But what makes this special is that when you receive an honor from your own peers, from your own compatriots, from your own colleagues, a recognition which has impacted me extremely deeply, and I feel very honored, at the same time extremely emotional about the entire presentation and the ceremony. Thank you, Rafiq, for those very kind, though slightly, or I should say moderately slightly exaggerated introduction. I wouldn't recognize a red-beaked, green-bellied robin if you hit me on the face with it. But what is true is that the Kunyalu family and our family have been intertwined now for about 4 generations. What he failed to mention, or probably does not know because he was not here, I lost my father when I was just 2 months away from my MD exams. Took my exams with great difficulty, with a lot of emotional instability. I came back and was whiling my time. I wanted to go for higher studies, but I could not because I had family obligations. I was whiling my time reading newspapers, counting flies before swapping them, and the occasional patient who used to come to see how I compare with my dad, whether the acorn has really fallen far away from the oak or not. When a dapper little man walked into my consultation room and introduced himself as Dr. Mohamed Babu, late and very lamented father of Rafiq, he took me under his wing, took me around, introduced me to people, made me a member of Lotus Club, made me a member of Rotary, and he did everything which my father could not do for me. I am very, very grateful to Dr. Babu. Not a single day goes without my remembering the Kunyalu family. Thank you, Rafiq, for those nice words. Dr. Shyamala has always been someone whom I admire for her clinical acumen, her dedication to her work, and I'm very grateful to you for having read the citation. I shall keep it and value it for as long as I live. I will not thank Srinivas Kamath. Srinath Kamath is me. I am Srinivas Kamath. He's so close. I mean, we must have been real brothers in some, some previous birth somewhere. Somebody very, very dear. Many of you are so close to me. Now, I would not have been as soon as I came to Cochin in 1979, I became a member of IMA. API was something very unfamiliar to me. Becoming a member of API, I must thank Dr. Prabhu sir, who one day, I don't know whether he remembers it, along with the late Dr. Matthew Roy sir, came to my clinic and made me sign the form, which made me an API member. I have not been a very good member. I have attended some meetings, attended a few conferences, but I have not been like Srinivas Kamath or Rafiq or many of you who live, eat, breathe API and who are the lifeblood. You did me another great honor 3 years ago when you asked me to be the chairman of the organizing committee of that most prestigious conference, APICON 2019. And I will never forget the great time that I had working with all of you while I could bask in the glory of your effort. So in addition to this honor, I think you previously honored me by asking me to be the chairman. I just have one or two things to state that, I've been in the field now for 43 years and how medicine has changed. I will not go into the scientific aspects of it, how now we are able to probe every area of the body through endoscopes. When we started working, endoscopy was in its infancy. We did not have echocardiograms. We did not have ultrasounds, leave alone CT scans and MRIs. I used to send patients to Manipal for getting CT scans. I used to send patients to Kutatukulam for getting gastroscopies and so on and so forth. Things have changed. Many things are excellent now. In those days, we had small hospitals, what were called nursing homes. Now we have corporate hospitals, large hospitals. Anything that can be done anywhere in the world can be done here in Cochin. Practically everything can be done here. The difference is that people have changed. I always used to wonder why they are called patients. In those days, even when I first started, patients were really patient. Now they are very impatient. Not only from the point of view of wanting to wait, like if I come at 7:30, I must be seen at 7:31. But they want the diseases to go away sooner than what they expect. I had a North Indian patient who came to me and he said he's got an allergy. So I examined him and he had chicken pox. So I told him, listen, you got chicken pox. He said, that's okay, but make me all right in 2 days because day after tomorrow I have to leave for Singapore. So people have become extremely impatient. Their expectations have risen tremendously. In the early days of my practice, and I'm sure that's true for most of you, you would not have heard of anything like a hospital being vandalized or a doctor being assaulted and things like that. This is more the normal now than something which is very rare. I think we must all sit and, think what is happening. From the patient's side, it is impatience. As an aside, the word patient comes from the Latin patent, which means I am suffering. It's not because they are supposed to be patient. It comes from I am suffering and therefore they are called patients. So patients, the people have changed in their perspective of the medical profession. They expect, unbelievable things, the doctor to be some kind of a messiah, some kind of a magician. But have we also changed? Have doctors changed? Are we taking on too much of work that we cannot handle? Are we out of touch with our patients? Are we out of touch with the population? This is something which we should sit and, seriously retrospect. All that I can say is that when I started and now there's a world of a difference. I have tried to be the same, but in many ways I've been forced to change by the changing world around me. I thank all of you for being here today. I thank all of you for being such good friends, supporters. I'd just like to read a small passage which I found in WhatsApp. Normally I found WhatsApp as a pain, it sort of takes up so much time you could use more usefully. Tact, sympathy, and understanding are expected of the physician. For the patient is no mere collection of symptoms, signs, disordered functions, damaged organs, and disturbed emotions. The patient is human, fearful, and hopeful, seeking relief, help, and reassurance. To the physician, as to the anthropologist, nothing human is strange or repulsive. The misanthrope may become a smart diagnostician of organic disease, but can scarcely hope to succeed as a physician. The true physician has a Shakespearean breadth of interest in the wise and the foolish, the proud and the humble, the stoic hero and the whining rogue. The physician cares for people. Do you know who wrote this and when? Yes, it is written by Dr. Tinsley R. Harrison in the very first edition of Harrison, which came out in 1950, before many of you were born. This holds true even today. Our primary aim, our primary interest is the patient. Everything else is secondary. I thank you all for being here and for the accolades you have showered on me. I thank my family for the support that they have given. Though it is a paradoxical statement, or it's what you call as an oxymoron, I accept this award with all humility and all pride. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sujit, for the nice words. I request the floor to stand up and give an round of applause to Dr. Sujit Vasudevan and family. Thank you. Now we will go to the next program. Christmas celebration for the year 2022. Now the Santa Claus show. And followed by cake cutting.
Hello. Thanks for gathering here tonight. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hello. Christmas song by Dr. C.J. Varghese. Please come, Doctor.
I'll be singing a few old Christmas songs as a medley, not the full songs. So my throat is a bit sore, so I don't know how much of justice I can do. So singing. Silver bell, silver bell, soon it will be Christmas Day. Silver bell, silver bell, soon it will be Christmas Day. City sidewalk, busy sidewalk, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. In every street corner you hear silver bell, silver bell. It's Christmas time in the city. Silver ring, hear the ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round you, Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pine, till He appeared, the soul felt His worth. A thrill of hope, the weary soul rejoices, for yonder breaks a near and glorious morn. All on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when child was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible says, Mary's born child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new King was born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Trumpets sound and angels sing, listen to what they say, that man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. O come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. Heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero ano, felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero ano, felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero ano, felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those melodious songs. I invite Dr. Muthukoya for a few Christmas carols.
ഒരു തമിഴ് സോങ്. ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ உன் பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ. ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ உன் பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ. காற்றில் ஆடும் தனியா என் பாட்டு மட்டும் துணையாக. காற்றில் ஆடும் தனியா என் பாட்டு மட்டும் துணையாக. ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ ஓ பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ. மனசெல்லாம் பந்தலிட்டு மல்லிக்கொடியாக உன்னை விட்டேன். உசுருக்குள் கோழி கட்டி உன்னை கரு வச்சு கொண்டாடினே. மழை பெஞ்சாலான மண் வாசம் நினைச்சாலே பூவாசந்தா. பாத்தே மேலே போத்திருப்பே கையே மேலே போலே சேர்ந்திருப்பே. ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ. காற்றில் ஆடும் துணையா என் பாட்டு மட்டும் துணையா. கண்ணாடி பார்க்கையில அங்க முன்னாடி மோகம் தான் கண்ணை நீ போகையில கொஞ்சம் கலிசாக என் மனம் தான் மத்தி சுருங்காமே ஒரு குடையாக மாறட்டுமா மலமே விளக்காய் ஏப்பி வைப்பே உன்னை படம் போல் மனசு மாட்டி வைப்பே ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ உன் பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ உன் பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ காற்றில் ஆடும் தனியா என் பாட்டு மட்டும் துணையாக காற்றில் ஆடும் தனியா என் பாட்டு மட்டும் துணையாக ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ உன் பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பൂ. ഫാദർ ആബേൽ എഴുതിയ ഒരു ഗാനം, ഒരു ഫിലോസഫിക്കൽ സോങ്. ഒരു ഫിലോസഫിക്കൽ സോങ് റിട്ടൺ ബൈ ഫാദർ ആബേൽ. ഈശ്വരനെ തേടി ഞാൻ നടന്നു, കടലുകൾ കടന്നു ഞാൻ തിരഞ്ഞു, അവിടെയുമില്ലിവിടെയുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ, വിജനമായ പൂവിലുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ. ഈശ്വരനെ തേടി ഞാൻ നടന്നു, കടലുകൾ കടന്നു ഞാൻ തിരഞ്ഞു, വിടയുമില്ലിവിടെയുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ, വിജനമായ ഭൂവിലുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ. എവിടെയാണീശ്വരൻ്റെ കാൽപ്പാടുകൾ, മണ്ണിലൊക്കെ ഞാൻ തേടി കണ്ടില്ല. എവിടെയാണീശ്വരൻ്റെ സുന്ദരാനനം, വിണ്ണിലൊക്കെ ഞാൻ തേടി കണ്ടില്ല. ഈശ്വരനെ തേടി ഞാൻ നടന്നു, കടലുകൾ കടന്നു ഞാൻ തിരഞ്ഞു, അവിടെയുമില്ലിവിടെയുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ, വിജനമായ ഭൂവിലുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ. കണ്ടില്ല കണ്ടില്ലെന്നോതിയോതി കാനനച്ചോല കുണുങ്ങിയോടി, കാണില്ല കാണില്ലെന്നോതിയോതി കിളികൾ പറന്നു പറന്നു പോയി. ഈശ്വരനെ തേടി ഞാൻ നടന്നു, കടലുകൾ കടന്നു ഞാൻ തിരഞ്ഞു, അവിടെയുമില്ലിവിടെയുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ, വിജനമായ ഭൂവിലുമില്ലീശ്വരൻ. അവസാനമെന്നിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ തിരിഞ്ഞു, ഹൃദയത്തിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ കടന്നു, അവിടെയാണ് ഈശ്വരൻ്റെ വാസം, സ്നേഹമാണീശ്വരൻ്റെ രൂപം, സ്നേഹമാണീശ്വരൻ്റെ രൂപം, സ്നേഹമാണീശ്വരൻ്റെ രൂപം. താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you, Dr. Muthukoya, for the nice song. Now we call upon Dr. Sumesh for the organizing matter and vote of thanks.
Good evening, respected consultants, colleagues and friends. Coming to the organization matters, the last API meeting was held on 25th of November. The first session was an approach to liver function test by our gastroenterologist Dr. G.N. Ramesh. The second session was a case presentation from General Hospital Ernakulam. The case was presented by Dr. Imran and the session was moderated by senior consultant Dr. Prashant. Both the sessions had good participation and the discussions were lively. Coming to the minutes of the API executive meeting held in December, there was a discussion that API Kerala State Committee will be organizing API quarterly meet and CME on February 2023 at IMA building, Kochi. API Kerala has requested API Kochi for active participation and help in conducting the CME. There shall be no financial burden or responsibility API Kochi whatsoever. To say a few words about these matters, I request Dr. Ajib Balashna and Dr. Sajesh Ashokan onto the stage. Please.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Physicians' Day, and congratulations once again to our dear senior Dr. Sujit for the wonderful person that he is, and for the wonderful and humorous way he puts across many things to us. We thank you, sir, once again. We congratulate you, sir. And this is a responsibility entrusted on the both of us for conducting the state conference, state third quarterly meeting at Cochin. It is coming up on February 26th. So we humbly request the participation of all our dear members here. And it is to be held here only. The venue is to be held here in this hall and the adjacent hall. So we request your graceful presence and participation and all support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We expect 100% attendance of this crowd in our meeting. Thank you very much. Once again, wishing you all a happy Christmas and a happy New Year coming.
Thank you, Dr. Ajit sir and Dr. Sajesh sir. Now, coming to the vote of thanks, on behalf of the API organizing team, it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. I would like to thank each and every one of you who are gathered here today to celebrate the Physicians' Day, as well as to express our affection and respect towards Sujit Vasudevan. Thank you, everybody. I express my gratitude to Chairman Dr. Abraham George for the introduction of today's events. A big thanks to Dr. Prasanna Umar sir for coordinating today's events smoothly. We appreciate the efforts of Dr. Rafiq Mohamed sir, who had built up the life story of Dr. Sujit Vasudevan painstakingly. Thank you, sir. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Shyamala Menon madam for presenting the citation to Sujit sir. We are grateful to Dr. C.J. Varghese, who has always answered our request and entertained us in his own melodious ways. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. A special thanks to Entertainment Secretary to Dr. Madhu Umar and National API member and IMA Chairman Dr. Srinivas Kamath for their guidance and timely intervention for conducting a problem-free Physicians' Day. Thank you. Thanks to our treasurer Dr. Sheetal Binu in helping us to organize today's events. Thanks to Nila Caterers for the cake and wine that they have served us. Thanks to Arun Moses, Solomon and team for the audiovisual arrangements. All the API sessions that are being conducted here are being recorded and they'll be broadcast in the YouTube channel. Thanks to IMA, Jijo, Vibin and team for organizing today's hall. A special word of appreciation to our office boy Tinoy, who helped us in our invitations and organizing today's Santa Claus. From all of us here, wishing you a Christmas season that's merry and bright, and have a prosperous new year ahead. Thank you. I hand over the podium to our chairman, Dr. Abraham George.
The meeting is adjourned for dinner and socializing.